Reddy garu, distinguished guests on the dais, and friends. Good afternoon. Louder, louder, Josh, more Josh. Good. First of all, I'm extremely grateful to our Minister Komatiredi Venkatreddy garu for this opportunity. In fact, 3 days back he came and told me that we are opening this equipment. His family, his personal funds has donated equipment. Can you come? I was little hesitant because we had many international doctors today with the program in our hospital. So I was hesitant. But when the minister himself requested, it is very rare for ministers to give their personal wealth back to society. And it was such a rare occasion. So I accepted it. I said, I cancelled other programs in our hospital, accepted it. And when I came here, myself and G.B. Rao were so thrilled that not only has he donated this equipment of laparoscopy to the hospital, general hospital, but this is a 4K laparoscopy, one of the highest standard equipment, which even in the world's top class hospitals you won't see. Even in age, only recently we got this. This is a very high-end equipment, and I think he had the foresight to tell them, don't get any equipment, get the best equipment. And they got the best equipment, and I'm sure this will benefit. This is a 4K laparoscopy which can avoid major surgeries, and many patients in Nalgonda area will benefit from this because this is going to cater to poor patients who cannot afford to come to cities and unnecessarily waste their money. So I said I'd like to commend you on this fantastic thing that you have done. So the second, then he told me we'll go to the middle college once, and so when he said middle college once, I thought this will be like an old middle college because most of the state middle colleges I know are old buildings, dilapidated and all that. When I was entering, I was so surprised, I was shocked. I told him, is this the middle college you are talking? Yes, he said. In 1 year time, he has made this into a phenomenal building because I can say this because I was the president of the World Gastro Federation for 4 years. So I visited about almost 120 countries. I've seen many colleges, institutions all over the world, 120 countries. And I can say that this is, when you enter into this building, like G.V. Rao said, there's something very positive about it. Some vibes which you can't describe, which I think we can compare now with some of the best medical colleges anywhere in the world. So this is, and as I see you students here, I can see very bright faces, and I'm sure all of you will have a very good career. And most importantly, I'm seeing more girls than boys in this audience, which is also a very good sign that the future for all of you. I think it's very important, like Minister said, that when you think about future, also must think about of a country. 40 years back, after I finished my medicine, I was in US, I was in Harvard medical school system. The director of the Harvard medical school offered me a job. After a few times he said, why don't you stay back here? 40 years back, he was willing to pay a salary of 1 crore per month. Asked me very to stay back. So I told him, no sir, I want to go back to my country, Hyderabad, where we don't be. At that time, there were only 3 gastroenterologists in Hyderabad. Whole country had only 50 gastroenterologists, 40 years, only 50. So I said, I want to go and develop the specialty. I trained for this. He was very angry. He said, you want to go to underdeveloped country. What is this? I'm giving you in the United States the best jobs. And I think SP will know the Harvard medical system, the best, one of the best, high salary, top of the thing. You can do research. And I said, I want to go back. I came back. We started the institution. I'll tell you how also. Once we started the institution, today, after 20 years after I came back, he is sending his students here to us for training. And he has written a very nice letter recently telling me, he was a Jewish professor, saying that I'm glad he went back because now the gastroenterology, what we have developed in the country, is one of the best in the world. Even in the United States, doctors come here for training. So this is the commitment that you should have to the thing. After I finished my gastroenterology, I came back, I started practice. Just to give you origin of what happened, again, in relevance to what the minister was saying regarding research. I came from a very economically lower end family. My father was a professor of pathology, but pathologists don't earn any money. He was in government service, He was very devoted government service person. So for many years he worked, he retired, he didn't have much money. So when you come from a low middle class family, you want money. You are hungry for money. So I started practice. I was in Medinova Diagnostic Service at that time. I practiced. I had huge practice. In 2 years' time, because there are only, whole country had only 30-40 gastroenterologists, and nobody was doing all the procedures that I learned abroad. I came back. We started doing a lot of procedures. So because of this, all over the country, patients used to come. And then when we started, 2 years, I made a lot of, I thought I was on top of the world. One day, one Sunday, my father called me for lunch. And he told me, he was a professor of pathology, retired. He told me, son, I'm extremely disappointed with you. You're a failure in life. I said, failure in life? I went to the best colleges in PGH, I got trained. I went to US, I came back to do this, and I'm making a lot of money. Why are you saying I'm failure? He said, you're a failure because have you built any institution? Have you trained any doctors? Are you treating poor patients? Have you done any research? Have you published any papers? Zero in all that. That day I decided I'm going to change my path, stop all the practice. GV was with me, GV and myself. I remember I called GV for dinner and said, GV, let us change the course. Let us build institutions, let us do research, let us train students, and let us treat people who are not having enough money. We changed course, and then we started the first AAG hospital. And the first AAG hospital also is a very interesting story, how when you want to do something positive, everything around you helps. I'm telling you this story because all of you in life will get chances, opportunities. Grab the opportunities, and if you grab only. It was one day when GV thought we'll build this hospital, we had money to make practice, build house and not hospital. Hospital is very expensive. So what happened was that in the neighboring state, one of the chief minister's wife had a laparoscopic cholecystectomy done. The stone sipped into the CBD, went inside, and she was totally septicemia. Nobody could remove it endoscopically. And when we tried to remove it there, in that state, they could not do it. So he rang up at 12 o'clock in the night, telling, can you come urgently, my wife requires the surgery. I rang up in London. London people said only this chap in India can do. So myself and G.V. Rao, he sent a private flight. We put our everything together, all the equipment together, and then we transported this to that place. And then when we went in, we saw this lady was gasping. Within half an hour, she is going to die, pus in the liver, at 1 o'clock in the morning. And that hospital was surrounded by all the political supporters of Chief Minister. So I knew if I do something wrong, I'm finished. So me and G.V. Rao, when we asked the hospital director, is there a back door, exit door? Something happened. So, but fortunately, we went in just took 10 minutes because we had that expertise. Next day morning, when the Chief Minister got, he said, it is unbelievable that somebody was dying like that. He brought all the secretary, chief secretary, everybody to the chamber and said, you set up a big institution here in gastroenterology, we'll give you water. I said, no, I want to go back, you help me there. So from then onwards, another very important person that time in our life was Mr. Hanumanth Reddy, who was a nephew of SP Reddy. He said, see, your intentions are good. I know that you don't have money. He contacted this person who owned this building in Bangalore, and then a little push also politically from there. Together we got this building at almost like a donation. And then we started this building, which was 200 bedded gastroenterology. So myself and G.V. Rao together, and I want to tell this story also because 40 years later we still are together. So it's very important that doctors of different specialties should stay together. So then we started this hospital, and fortunately for us, as we were going in hospital, it became very busy. There were a lot of patients, rush. And one day our previous Chief Minister, Mr. Nageshwar Reddy, came for a checkup. He himself could not come inside because so much rush. People are saying, you wait, they didn't recognize at that time. So he came and told me, Nagesh, what is this? I'm very surprised. You're so busy, why are you practicing? I'll give you 10 acres of land in Gachibowli. Can you make the best hospital in the world? I said, sir, I was very close, so I said, sir, you give us the place, I'll build. My specialty is endoscopy. I'll make best in the world, but hospital, I don't know. Very difficult because Mayo Clinic, Cleveland Clinic, billions of dollars they spent to make the best hospital. He said, don't worry, you go ahead. So he gave us that land, Dr. Rajshekar Reddy at that time. And then we built this hospital, and we built the hospital not only, of course, I remember my father's word about compassion, care and all. In addition to this, we built this hospital with one whole wing just for research. 30% of our hospital is only research and academics. So no corporate hospital in India has done that. So we have an animal lab, we have 40 PhD students, not PhDs, doctors, PhD basic scientists working on genetics, stem cells. So we put cutting edge research in that. And because of all this, our hospital became very prominent all over the world. And 3 years back and all these years, the Newsweek magazine in US ranks all hospital. It gave us the rank of the best hospital in the world. So at that time, I remember Dr. Rajshekar Reddy. He was very prophetic. He told me, make the best hospital. I thought he was joking, but it became true. What he said became true. So this was the story. But for the students, I am telling you this story because our growth was, of course, we worked hard, but also we had a lot of opportunities. Small help here, small help there. The CM of the state, Hanmant Reddy Garu, and then so many other small helps. And because SP also is here, he played a big part. Because he's here, I'm not telling all the things. So all help came to us and we grabbed them. So you'll also get opportunities. You'll get help. After you finish your MBBS or MD or whatever it is, you must not stay there. Aim for a higher goal. Keep changing your goal post every time. Okay, you got good practice, do institution. You have good institution, build another institution. So the goal post must keep changing every time you reach. Don't be in the comfort zone. So there are two secrets I'll tell you. It's called the 3 C's and the 3 H's. 3 H's are for the doctors, very important. Honesty, humility and hard work. Very important. Honest, as doctors, we have to be very honest to our patients. Sometimes we cannot cure diseases, terminal disease. Somebody is better. Always tell them this is there. I cannot do this. So remember this. First H is honesty, is very important. Second is hard work. There is no other profession in the world where you require hard work more than this. You cannot suddenly become a great doctor overnight. You can't suddenly become a great physician or a surgeon overnight. It requires a lot of hard work. There is a very famous book called The Outliers. Yeah. Outliers, I recommend you to read that. How in Outliers they tell you that 10,000 hours of work is important to become perfect in anything. So hard work. And the third most important thing is humility. Humility, as I think all of you come from families where you become a doctor, they will pamper you. A doctor is a doctor, they'll pamper you. But humility is extremely important because as a doctor, we have to be humble. There's a lot of knowledge we don't know. We don't know about it at all. And you have to actually acknowledge that there is so many things you don't know that you have to learn from your elders and so many things you can learn. Humility for a doctor is very important. I got my lesson many years back. I got the Padma in 2002. At that time when I went to visit, I was going to different places to buy sculptures for our old hospital. I like old ancient sculptures. I went to in Bhubaneswar, there is a place called very famous sculptor is there. He was a very old man, so I went to buy there. I went to the shop and my friend who was accompanying me, at that time doctors, Padma was a little rare. So he introduced me to the sculpture, a very old man wearing a banyan, torn pant. He introduced me to that person and saying, this is Padma Shri Nageshwar Reddy, kindly show him good sculptures. Every 5 minutes he kept saying, this is Padma Shri Dr. Nageshwar, go and so. So that sculpture showed all this, and when we were going off, I wanted to buy some. So I tell, can you give me your phone number and also I want to. So he put his hand in the pocket, got out an old card. In the old card, his name was there, Mr. Sahu, Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan, Padma Vibhushan. That sculptor had already received all the 3, but he was behaving so humbly to me that I learned my lesson that all these awards are nothing, all the rewards are nothing. What our behavior is very, very important. Whatever you achieve, you have to be humble. So the 3H over. Then the 3C. The 3C is, the first is compassion. As doctors, we have to be extremely compassionate. There is again no other profession. You can be brilliant, most brilliant doctors. I know outstanding surgeons, brilliant in their work. but they fail in life because they don't have compassion. You have to have compassion for patients. That is the most important characteristic. So that is the first C. The second C is communication. Again, doctors are not good communicators because we are not taught how to communicate. How to communicate with patients, how to communicate with the public, how to communicate with the press, how to communicate with every part of communication for doctors is very important. Kindly learn that. If the college, in fact, I suggest to the principal here that have some lessons on communication, just for 3 or 4 days, how to do communication, very important. And the third thing, of course, third is commitment. Whatever you do, you have to have commitment. Medicine is not an easy profession. It is not a very casual profession. Once you enter medicine, you are committed to doing something. Get committed, commitment. So 3H, 3C, remember, this will be very useful for you in when you become doctors. So because as you can see that Mother Teresa is very religious, very holy person. She said something, I remember, very, very important. She said that hands that heal are holier than the lips that pray. So we are the high priest on which the patient is coming and submitting himself. He is trusting us so much, he is giving all his organs. Just imagine liver, heart, kidney. When you treat a patient, everything is under your care. He is trusting you and giving everything to you. We are the high priest of the religion of medicine. And as a high priest, we have to keep this trust. For us, every single patient is as valuable as the next. And so whenever I see sometimes patients, you remember your own relative, how your daughter was, how your son was, how your granddaughter. They are like that for you. Every single patient is trusting you, giving his whole body to you. And it's our duty to do whatever best. Of course, we are not gods. We can't do, always we can't be successful. Sometimes we fail. Sometimes the disease is so advanced we can't do anything. But the attempt must be there. All of you must attempt to do your best, whatever circumstances. I can see very bright faces here. I want all of you to be like what Jivirao said, good clinicians, good researchers, but most important, good human beings. To be a good doctor, you have to be a good human being. And finally, I'd like to announce this that Minister is here, that AAG will definitely adopt Nalgonda Medical College. Anybody, any one of you, as you are doing your courses, after you finish your courses, we will see that you get a special course training in research and postgraduate thing, and we'll do everything possible so that we take this college as ours. Thank you very much.